Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat bertemu kembali dalam mata pelajaran Bahasa Indonesia. Kali ini di materi kedua merupakan lanjutan dari materi sebelumnya. Dan untuk saat ini materinya adalah menelaah pidato persuasif. Baik, seperti biasa anak-anakku kelas 9, sebelum kita belajar, silakan kalian untuk berdoa terlebih dahulu. Untuk berdoa disilakan. Amin. Selanjutnya silakan persiapkan segala alat dan perlengkapannya untuk kegiatan pembelajaran saat ini. Tujuan pembelajaran kali ini, nanti setelah kegiatan belajar mengajar, diharapkan siswa dapat 1. Menyusun kerangka pidato persuasif, dan yang kedua menyusun pidato persuasif. Pada materi ini, marilah kita simak contoh pidato persuasif yang akan disampaikan oleh Shevron Suzuki. Nanti setelah kalian menyimak, coba kalian perhatikan pidato tersebut. Kemudian kalian harus menentukan 1. Pendahuluan dari pidatonya. Yang kedua, memperkenalkan diri yang mengesankan pada bagian pidato tersebut. Yang ketiga, latar belakang utamanya. Yang keempat, pengantar ke pokok persoalan dengan model repetisi. Kelima, model repetisi dengan pengulangan kata. 6. Inti repetisi. 7. Pertanyaan empati. 8. Penyajian fakta yang terbantahkan. 9. Inti dari pidato untuk dunia. 10. Argumen-argumen. Dan yang ke-11, pesan penutup. Jadi, setelah menyimak pidato itu, kalian harus menentukan 11 hal tersebut. Baik, siswa-siswa kelas 9, selanjutnya marilah kita simak model pidato persuasif yang disampaikan oleh Shevron Suzuki. Kita perhatikan pidatonya dengan baik.
Hello, I'm Shevron Suzuki speaking for ECHO, the Environmental Children's Organization. We're a group of 12 and 13-year-olds trying to make a difference. Vanessa Setti, Morgan Geisler, Michelle Quigg, and me. We've raised all the money to come here ourselves, to come 5,000 miles to tell you adults you must change your ways. Coming up here today, I have no hidden agenda. I am fighting for my future. Losing my future is not like losing an election or a few points on the stock market. I am here to speak for all generations to come. I am here to speak on behalf of the starving children around the world whose cries go unheard. I am here to speak for the countless animals dying across this planet because they have nowhere left to go. I am afraid to go out in the sun now because of the holes in our ozone. I am afraid to breathe the air because I don't know what chemicals are in it. I used to go fishing in Vancouver, my home, with my dad, until just a few years ago we found the fish full of cancers. And now we hear of animals and plants going extinct, every day vanishing forever. In my life, I have dreamt of seeing the great herds of wild animals, jungles and rainforests full of birds and butterflies. But now I wonder if they will even exist for my children to see. Did you have to worry of these things when you were my age? All this is happening before our eyes, and yet we act as if we have all the time we want and all the solutions. I'm only a child, and I don't have all the solutions. I want you to realize, neither do you. You don't know how to fix the holes in our ozone layer. You don't know how to bring the salmon back up in a dead stream. You don't know how to bring back an animal now extinct. And you can't bring back the forest that once grew where there is now a desert. If you don't know how to fix it, please stop breaking it. Here, you may be delegates of your government, business people, organizers, reporters, or politicians, but really, your mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, aunts and uncles, and all of you are someone's child. I'm only a child, yet I know we are all part of a family, 5 billion strong. In fact, 30 million species strong. And borders and governments will never change that. I'm only a child, yet I know we are all in this together and should act as one single world towards one single goal. In my anger, I am not blind, and in my fear, I am not afraid of telling the world how I feel. In my country, we make so much waste. We buy and throw away, and yet northern countries will not share with the needy. Even when we have more than enough, we are afraid to share. We are afraid to let go of some of our wealth. In Canada, we live the privileged life, with plenty of food, water, and shelter. We have watches, bicycles, computers, and television sets. The list could go on for 2 days. 2 days ago, here in Brazil, we were shocked when we spent time with some children living on the streets. This is what one child told us. I wish I was rich. And if I were, I would give all the street children food, clothes, medicines, shelter, and love and affection. If a child on the streets who has nothing is willing to share, why are we who have everything still so greedy? I can't stop thinking that these are children my own age, that it makes a tremendous difference where you are born. That I could be one of those children living in the favelas of Rio. I could be a child starving in Somalia, or a victim of war in the Middle East, or a beggar in India. I am only a child, yet I know if all the money spent on war was spent on finding environmental answers, ending poverty, and finding treaties, what a wonderful place this earth would be. At school, even in kindergarten, you teach us how to behave in the world. You teach us to not to fight with others, to work things out, to respect others, to clean up our mess, not to hurt other creatures, to share, not be greedy. Then why do you go out, do the things you tell us not to do? Do not forget why you are attending these conferences, who you're doing this for. We are your own children. You are deciding what kind of a world we are growing up in. Parents should be able to comfort their children by saying, everything's going to be all right. It's not the end of the world. And we're doing the best we can. But I don't think you can say that to us anymore. Are we even on your list of priorities? My dad always says, you are what you do, not what you say. Well, what you do makes me cry at night. You grown-ups say you love us, but I challenge you, please, make your actions reflect your words. Thank you.
Demikian siswa-siswa pidato dari Chef Farhan Sijuki yang sangat menyayat ataupun sangat menarik perhatian. Silahkan kalian tentukan ke 11 hal yang tadi sudah disebutkan. Selanjutnya, dalam pidato, langkah awal itu harus membuat kerangka pikiran utama. Jika sudah menentukan pendekatan yang tepat, tentukan hal-hal utama yang kamu buat untuk meyakinkan audiensi akan menentukan berapa lama harus berpidato. 3 hingga 4 pikiran utama cukup untuk tidak terlalu lama atau terlalu singkat. Jadi sebelum pidato, kalian harus menentukan dulu yang namanya kerangka. Sebagai contoh, dalam pidato tentang daur ulang, pikiran utama pidatomu kemungkinannya yaitu 1. Daur ulang menghemat sumber daya alam. 2. Daur ulang mengurangi jumlah sampah. Dan yang ketiga, daur ulang itu murah. Jadi cukup 3 pikiran utama saja. Kemudian ada tugas individu. Buatlah 1 buah kerangka pidato persuasif seperti contoh tadi yang memuat 3 sampai 4 pikiran utama. Kumpulkan tugasmu dengan cara 1. Menuliskan tugasnya pada buku tugas bahasa Indonesia. Yang kedua, mengirimkan tugas kepada guru bahasa Indonesia sesuai dengan waktu yang telah ditentukan. Untuk waktunya, kalian tunggu informasi selanjutnya. Demikian pembelajaran bahasa Indonesia kali ini. Dan sebagai penunjang pembelajaran, kalian bisa buka buku paket bahasa Indonesia yang sudah dipinjamkan oleh sekolah dan juga buku ringkasan materi. Demikian, terima kasih atas perhatiannya. Selamat belajar, jangan lupa tugasnya dikerjakan dengan baik. Demikian untuk pertemuan kali ini. Saya akhiri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.